Hello, my name is Caitlin Conmey and I'm going to discuss the power of symbolism within literature and alternate forms of writing. Symbolist literature originates in the 19th century when French poets such as Stéphane Mallarmé, Paul Verlaine and Arthur Rimbaud orchestrated a movement away from the rigid patterns of pre-19th century poetry. This saw the rise of prose poems and vers libre or free verse poetry, which are much more popular in modern poetry. This movement influenced a variety of artists both in literature and in other arts. For example, Paul Klee, a Swiss-born artist, is known for his focus on symbolic artwork. Symbolism now is something that is used practically every day in phrases such as time is money, a picture is worth 1,000 words, or sorry to burst your bubble. Other quotes such as only the guy who isn't rowing has time to rock the boat by Jean-Paul Sartre symbolize a need for unanimous effort and achievable improvement through team spirit. Within literature, one of the more basic forms of symbolism can be found in visual expression. Red often symbolizes blood, passion, or danger, while purple is a symbol of royalty and white is symbolic of purity, innocence, and life. When reading novels such as 1984 by George Orwell, symbolism is central and somewhat fundamental. Big Brother symbolizes the vague nature to authority and therefore emphasizes our blind following of those who rarely display any form of personal identity. The telescreens further symbolize abuse of power, and memory holes are symbolic of human ignorance and a desire to forget what does not fit how we want life to be. Symbolism is also evident in plays such as The Duchess of Malfi by John Webster. One quote says, "I account this world a tedious theatre, for I do play a part in it against my will." Here, Webster uses the symbol of the theatre to describe life as a performance, thus suggesting a fake reality to our lives. However, symbolism is more commonly recognised as a poetic device, with well-known poets such as Chaucer using symbols such as the Garden of Eden to symbolise a perceived perfection. Or Larkin when he writes, "She kept her songs, they took so little space," in his poem Love Songs and Age. Here, we see music symbolise memories, life, and in general, things taken for granted. One of my favourite poets, Simon Armitage, managed to use symbolism to uncover many modern issues. In his poem, he writes, "If it snowed and snow covered the drive, he took a spade and tossed it to one side." Snow is commonly associated with purity and beauty, so here this line may be symbolic of a perceived good deed being malicious or damaging in intent, a character forcibly removing innocence and purity for his own selfish desire. Over the years, poetry has been important to me, and I find myself using symbolism within my own poetry, or more commonly, song lyrics. Lyrics such as "A melody drowned in grey, half a screaming voice," or "Alone feels like home when I'm thinking with you" are symbolic in nature, and my intent was to portray ideas with a power that, in my opinion, cannot be achieved without some ambiguity and a reader-to-reader perception. Other lyrics, such as "The cold came and the lake froze over," they banned our favourite song, symbolise loss and the unexpected nature to life. Even the idea of the lake is symbolic to me in a way that most wouldn't understand, and to me, that is beautiful. I find that music lyrics are a branch of poetry. Artists such as John Lennon are not afraid to use symbolism. The song Imagine, for example, is virtually the Communist Manifesto, according to Lennon himself. Lyrics such as "Imagine all the people sharing all the world" are deeply symbolic for communist ideas. Even more modern artists, such as Melanie Martinez and Billie Eilish, expand this use of symbolism to powerfully indicate the deep corruption within the music industry that many people aspire to. Martinez writes, "Syrup is still syrup in a sippy cup," indicating how people try to mask cruelty and corruption with appeared innocence. "Buy and sell like I'm a product of society, and it's a corpse that you keep in the cradle" do similar and are much more powerful than stating that people are living in ignorance. A final example would be Billie Eilish, whose lyrics are a dramatic expression of symbolism. "I'll sit and watch your car burn," or "Was I made from a broken mold," or "Swimming pools filled by models." These are clearly entirely symbolic, and not only is this effective in creating a captivating song, but they show the power that symbolism can have on response to what's being said. Like Melanie Martinez, Billie Eilish uses heavy symbolism in "Bury a Friend" and "When the Party's Over," though lyrics connoting to a false nature to a toxic music industry, but this diffuses into visual representation of Billie Eilish drinking a black liquid and literally crying it out, symbolising the trust within the toxic nature of the music industry and how it slowly reveals itself. Overall, symbolism has grown from a basic way of moving away from the strict rules of poetry to something that evokes an emotional response and resonates with thousands of people. The power of symbolism is within the atmosphere and tone it creates, as it manages to leave the reader/audience thinking about deeper meanings to life and events that are possibly going on in their own lives. Thank you.